This is exactly what I expected, because when you say the word family, extended family, neighborhood and community, what comes to mind is Gainesville, Florida. The reason why we've asked you here today to join us and to see how we do this is for one reason, so that you understand you don't need us. You don't need Ty Pennington, you don't need Hollywood, you don't need cameras to make a difference in someone in your own neighborhood. And this is what I mean. One day you'll often look at that window and see that old woman you've known all your life, and suddenly she's in a wheelchair and 3 steps that she can't get up. You can bring your neighbors together, and in one day, this is exactly what I expected, because when you say the word family, extended family, neighborhood and community, what comes to mind is Gainesville, Florida. The reason why we've asked you here today to join us and to see how we do this is for one reason, so that you understand you don't need us. You don't need Ty Pennington, you don't need Hollywood, you don't need cameras to make a difference in someone in your own neighborhood. And this is what I mean. One day you'll often look at that window and see that old woman you've known all your life, and suddenly she's in a wheelchair and 3 steps that she can't get up. You can bring your neighbors together, and in one day build a ramp. To do one of those. I almost had a heart attack. I know nothing about construction. I don't even know how to nail straight. And sometimes ignorance is bliss. Because if I'd actually had any experience in construction, I said, it's impossible. You can't do it. You can't make that happen. So I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. And I said, you know what, I want to set the casting department. You know, this is '03, 7 years ago. And I said, I want you to go out to Home Depot and lumber yards, 84 lumber, and look for people walking out with caulking material and wood and nails, and chances are they're remodeling their house. Now you can tell the difference between just a regular person remodeling their house and a sub and trade. Because a sub and trade, pants are going to be about right down here. And I said, you know, I want you to give them flyers, and we're doing this show, and how would they like to have us remodel the house for them. And I said at the same time, I remember there's going to be at least 100 subs and trades. There'll be 100 of us. Don't give me anything small. I mean, I got to shoot the television show, so I need something 2,800 square feet, 3,000 square feet, something like that. So it went okay. And so every day the casting department would hand me a list, and I'd get in my car and I would drive up, and there would be a Mercedes in the driveway. And I'd walk inside and go, I want that kitchen. Look at that master bathroom. It's usually larger than the house I was living in. I want that bathroom. But I kept asking myself, why would anybody want to watch a television show about remodeling houses for people that can remodel their own house? And so out of frustration, I got in my car and started driving around Los Angeles and ended up in a place called Canyon Country, Santa Cruz. And was driving in a neighborhood, 1970, California ranch-style houses, single-story, 3-4 bedrooms, very affordable for California, $800,000, $900,000. And I was just driving up and down the block, and all of a sudden I come around the corner, and in the middle of the street was the nastiest house you've ever seen in your life. I remember the yard was dead, and there was a couple broken windows. There was some cardboard in those windows. And it had a wooden-shaped roof, and I remember that wooden-shaped roof was kind of peeling backwards, and I thought to myself, Lord, if it's raining outside, it's got to be raining inside. And I swear to you, standing in front of this house is the cutest little blonde you ever seen in your life with a paintbrush in her hand, staring at this nasty house. Little 8-year-old girl next to her. And I drove up, and I thought, this is perfect. This is exactly what I'm looking for, but it's got to be like 1,100 square feet, 1,200, tiny. So I drove away. But for some reason, I put it in reverse, and I backed up, and I looked at it again. I thought to myself, I drive away, I get reverse, I back up. I do this 4 or 5 times. She sees this over her shoulder and sends the little girl inside. So it's like her. Well, I've said, well, okay, the sheriff's going to put me on the ground in a moment now. So I got out of the car and she walked up to her and said, why is your house the nastiest house on the block? And she said, Mr. Ricketts, that little girl I stood inside for 4 years now. We've been fighting leukemia. And every dime we've had is gone to save her life. And we've had no money to fix her house. And I knew at that moment it was someone on this television show. I knew at that moment it was about taking people out of their backyards and bringing them onto the street. I knew that moment was finding a builder, finding subs and trades and hundreds of people that are willing to volunteer to change one family's life. That was 7 years ago, the first family. And I stand before you today about to help my 168th family. But we don't do it. It is a builder who's willing to waive their fee, especially in this economy, for builders. For this family to waive their fee and to be able to say, I will step up and I will bring together subs and trades and convince them that they need to volunteer their time and bring together thousands of people and reach out to my community to get wood, to get lumber, to be able to get the nails, to be able to get everything that we need to be able to change one family's life. We only have a dream. Gainesville, you're going to make that dream come true, not for us, but for a family you've never met. And once you meet this family, you're going to know why you're here. That very first family has put us onto a path that we've been in for years. And I'd like for you to meet some of those families. David, 100 families.